Hi guys, this is going to be a pick a card reading for what makes you seductive. So we have 3 piles to choose from. We have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. If you guys need a second longer, go ahead and pause the video. If not, the timestamps will be listed down below in the description box. All right, pile number 1. Those of you guys that chose the pink lipstick or this tarot deck, this is going to be your reading for how are you guys seductive? How is my pile number 1's seductive? So I'm going to take a second to shuffle the cards. Just give me one moment. Check out my friend's shop, Light Minded. She sells bath bombs, soaps, and candles. All of her products are made with love and care, as well as high-quality natural ingredients. All of her products are vegan and cruelty-free. If any of you guys are interested, the link will be listed down below in the description box. Thank you. Okay, pile number 1. What makes you guys so seductive? So, automatically, the first thing that I got from you guys, what makes you guys very seductive or just give off like this sex appeal is you're the type of person who has dealt with people in the past that have disappointed you several times, and maybe you've seen, so you guys have dealt with people who have lied to you, who have betrayed you and hurt your trust, and there is a part of you that at one point maybe perhaps used to kind of like entertain that, but you've put an end to that. There is a part of you that says, you know what? No, I deserve better than this. And you just put an end to the things that just didn't serve you. So you just stopped entertaining. You pulled your energy, your physical attention away from people that are lying to you, people that are obviously not giving you what you deserve. And that is extremely attractive because you guys are not allowing people to just take up your time or to just use you or to manipulate you. And so people find that extremely attractive because you don't just give your energy out to just anybody. You don't just take out time out of your day for anyone. And so for just like anybody. So it makes you really attractive because people can sense that about you. There is this energy that you like exude that gives off the whole, like, don't waste my time. It's almost like people feel like they have to kind of come to you in a more correct way, or at least they feel like they need to be a little more cautious when approaching you. So a lot of you guys, what makes you very seductive is the way that you move your hands. The way that you move your body seems to be very seductive. So a lot of you guys could wear, I'm getting to like purple looks really good on you, but a lot of you guys maybe wear clothes that are of nicer material. So it looks like the stuff that you have looks like good quality. Some of you guys, when it comes down to making a decision, I feel like you don't take forever to make a decision. When you, for instance, if you see somebody that is doing any type of foul play, your cutout game is really good and you keep your standards high. You don't lower them for anybody. And I feel like there's been times where you've been tempted or you've been wanting to, but you still understand that like there's a part of you that's like, you're very protective. You have this sense of boundaries about you. And so it's very attractive because not just anybody can have you, not just anybody can be with you, and not just anybody can come into your life. So people just kind of get this sense that it's almost like they have to be special to be, for you to even give them any type of attention or for them to actually even put any effort in. So a lot of people kind of get that from you. Like, you're very quick to make a judgment on somebody. You're very quick to say, no, I don't want to do this, or no, I'm not into that person, or no, I'm not going to entertain this. But at the same time, there's a part of you that's very level-headed. You keep a level head about certain situations. Maybe, like, for instance, when somebody would upset you, maybe in the past you used to freak out, but now it's almost like you guys are a lot more mature with how you respond to people, and that's extremely attractive, because it's like, it's almost as though you take a moment to pause before responding. And people really can get that. They get the sense of control that you have. And it's really attractive because there is that allure to you of having that sense of control. So you just don't let just anybody come in and just interfere or rule your life. Another thing that I did notice, that Libra and Aries both came out, and I almost get they are the counterpart of each other's will. So, the companion for Aries would be Libra in the will. You guys seem to kind of have that side of you, like it's almost like you have a healthy balance or a healthy sense of both parts of you. So people kind of get that you're almost like well-rounded. And I do get the feeling that you don't see conflict with others, but you're also not afraid to stand up for yourself if you need to. So that's kind of how people feel about you. Another thing as well is, a lot of people think that you can let things go a lot easier, or that, maybe you guys wear spiritual symbols, or you guys just kind of maybe dress in a way that kind of shows that you have a little bit more of a, like, spiritual or mystic side to you, and people find that very alluring and attractive. As well as there is this Piscean like energy to you. So people may actually fantasize a lot about you, pile number one, because there is this sense of dreamy like energy that people they seem to like about you. Maybe people, they fantasize, or they have an idea of who they think you are, and then they kind of like, it's like people maybe date you in their head. Interesting. With challenges here, people can tell that because I feel like your cutoff game is so good, and because you don't put up with BS, people get the general idea that you've been through a lot and that you've struggled a lot, to where you don't tolerate anything that is not good for you. And so that makes you extremely attractive, because people can tell that you are kind of like alert, and you're ready to like not have to put, like, it's like you have resilience. You have resilience. You've gone through a lot, and people can sense that about you. And so that's what makes you very attractive, because they see you as somebody that could, like, those people that are kind of like ride or dies, or the people, that term. But it's kind of like that a little bit. Like, people know that if they ended up having you as a partner, that you would be a lot more loving, but you wouldn't just give up, right? When the first challenge or two come up, like, you're the type of person that would stick it out. So that's kind of what makes you attractive to some people, because they feel like you're more trustworthy in that way, or that you are more loyal. So that's kind of what I get from that challenge card. We have here mystery, or the numinous. You guys are very, it's just something about you that is very unknown. So I get the feeling that some of you guys, maybe you don't really talk very much, or you just don't share very much. Like maybe if you do talk, you talk about like random topics, or it's almost just like there is this big air of mystery about you. And I get the feeling that a lot of you guys maybe have people that try to get in your business, and then the way that you handle that is very attractive, because the way that you maneuver around conversations is it leaves people wanting more. It leaves people wanting to continue to talk to you and get to know you, because you kind of, when someone asks you a question, you're likely to be like giving like one answer, but it can mean like several different things. So like if somebody is like asking you like, what do you do for a living, you could be all like, well, um I just do marketing and that's it. But like marketing and what? You don't get very specific. You don't you only give what you want people to know, but you also only give the amount of information that you need to. So it leaves people with a lot of questions, because it's not like you overly explain yourself or put things out too much. So there is something about the way that you communicate, or the way that you are when you're around people. You're just very, the way that you conversate is really appealing to a lot of people, because it makes people question, I have more questions and want to get to know you more. And I get this sense too that maybe you guys are really good listeners. So that makes you really seductive, because not very many people are great listeners. And so when you listen to people, it's almost like there is this air that you kind of genuinely care about what people have to say, and people can kind of get that vibe from you. So it makes you extremely attractive and magnetic, because people almost get this sense that you and them, it's almost like it's just you and them in the conversation, and they enjoy every second of it, because it's almost like that ebb and flow. You're just great with conversations, and that just makes you guys really seductive. And I feel like as well with that Aries, there's times where you're kind of unpredictable, and I feel like it kind of throws people off as well, because either you will say something or you'll do something, and people will be like, oh, whoa, I didn't expect you to just like say that or act like that or do that. But that's what's kind of attractive, because it's that surprise that you give off. So people are seduced because the way that your energy is it's not like it's just one or two dimensional. When you are feeling a certain emotion, you go with the feeling. You are kind of spontaneous in that way, but you also kind of come off very caring and showing that there's like a side of you that's very like you don't want to, like you're like you keep the peace, but you sometimes might say something that could be kind of controversial, or maybe you do something that just kind of makes people like tilt their head kind of sideways and just kind of like, why? It's just because like there's that part of you that just gets very spontaneous. So people feel like that you would be like that even in the bedroom, because of the way that how spontaneous that you are just naturally, that people kind of see you as somebody that would probably be more open-minded in the bedroom. And so that's kind of where a lot of people's minds go when they get to know you a little bit better. And then we also have that Taurus. So, Taurus are in the Venus, so it's very beautiful, right? Taurus are very beautiful, and Libra is too. So we have two indicators of Venus here. And I feel like you guys do kind of give off that very loving, soft kind of energy, but at the same time, there is like this don't mess with me, I'll cut you out of my life kind of energy. So there is like this warm side to you, but then there's more of a cold side as well. So people can kind of tell that about you a little bit, and that's kind of like, that's really hot, because it's like that fire and ice kind of combination, where it doesn't go together, but yet it works somehow. So it's kind of like there's different sides to you, and there's different flavors of you. So everybody gets to kind of experience you in a different way. So it's not like everyone's experience is the same with you, and you will switch up on people. So people kind of can see all sides of your character. So you're very like multifaceted. You are like you're not afraid to express your feelings, but you're also kind of still keep to yourself, right? You're not afraid to be vulnerable, but you also don't necessarily be vulnerable all the time. So there's a part of you guys that it's almost like you give a little and then you pull back. You give a little and you pull back. And so it's kind of really seductive because it makes people almost kind of want to follow you or kind of want to go with you or be with you because they see that fun, spontaneous, and again, there's like that standard. You have a certain type of standard when it comes to yourself, and you have a standard when it comes to others. So people kind of get very attracted to that because they're like, wow, not everybody around me has standards. So it's like you kind of stand out in that way. So people are very attracted to you because it's not like you're just there for anybody, right? So that is, yeah, that's what makes you guys attractive, pile number 1. That's what makes you guys seductive. And, people really, I just get the feeling people fantasize a lot about you too. Like, a lot of people fantasize about you in a sexual way. Some people think about having kind of like what it would be like to be with you, like married or have like family or, settle down. But yeah, I just kind of get the sense that your energy cannot be replicated. Nobody else can match your energy. Like your energy is definitely unique for sure, pile number 1. So that's what I have for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great and wonderful day. Thank you. Bye. All right, those of you guys that chose pile number 2, this brown lipstick, or this tarot deck, this is going to be your guys' reading on how are you guys seductive? What makes you attractive? So I'm going to shuffle the cards real quick, and I will be right back. Check out my friend's shop, Light Minded. She sells bath bombs, soaps, and candles. All of her products are made with love and care, as well as high-quality natural ingredients. All of her products are vegan and cruelty-free. If any of you guys are interested, the link will be listed down below in the description box. Thank you. Okay, pile number 2. What makes you guys so seductive? What makes you so attractive? So, pile number 2. You guys have this aura about you that is very watery. There is kind of like you wear your heart on your sleeve a little bit, but there's still this part of you that acts all tough, like, no, I'm not gonna go out with you, or no, I'm not gonna date you, or no, I'm not gonna do this. But then there is this part of people that can tell that like it's almost like you turning people down, or you saying that you're not interested in dating, or you're just kind of like, there is a sense of like you're not really closed off, but you're also kind of, people kind of make it, I don't know how, pile number 2, because it almost feels like you play hard to get, but there is this part of you that still kind of allows it, but not really, but kind of allows it. Does that make sense? So it's very seductive, especially because I feel like with that semi-sextile and then the sextile, it's almost like you kind of allow it and then you allow it. So there is this like little bit of resistance at the beginning, and the way that it is, it's kind of almost playful, or it's almost kind of this energy of like, well, make me, or like it's almost playful, right? The resistance that you kind of exude is like more of a playful, like, well, if you want to date me, then, you got to come to me. And you kind of like flirt a little, but you do it in a cute, subtle way that maybe you might not even be aware of even. So people maybe see you as somebody that is kind of like okay, now this is not gonna be for everybody, but you know how every once in a while, you guys, we have those moments where we'll be sitting in a room. I do this all the time sometimes, where like you'll either space out or you wouldn't be paying attention, or maybe somebody cracks a joke, but it takes you a minute to like get the joke. And then there's like that pause, right? And then you're like, "Oh, I get it." And then you laugh, and then everybody else in the room just kind of like looks at you like, "Yeah." Um Sometimes you have those moments, pile number 2, and people find that really cute. They find that very attractive because it just kind of gives off that like your head's kind of in the clouds, or it takes you like a second, and then the second that you get it, it's like it's almost funnier than the joke itself, because you're just like so cute about how you say it. You're like, "Oh, I got it." Like, or you'll just like start laughing when nobody else is afterwards because the joke has already been said, and it's like a minute goes by and then you laugh. It's something like that. It's like there's something about you guys that you do that, and people find that extremely attractive because they find that funny. And they think it's kind of cute because it's almost like you're a little like ditzy at times. And it comes off very appealing, especially like to the opposite sex. But like again, there it's kind of funny because there's just this hesitancy or a delay that people like, or like you're always a little bit late, and then when you come in you're like always apologizing or frazzled, and it's like it's kind of cute when you get like um sometimes when you panic it can be kind of cute, how some people see it. That's weird. These are some weird messages. But yeah. So what makes you guys seductive is people can get this sense from you that like it's like you understand your emotions, right? You can feel people's emotions, but like a lot of people don't know where they stand with you. So you are very clear about yourself and what you want, but sometimes people when you're flirting, or because you kind of maybe are very nice on average, people sometimes don't know if you're actually flirting with them, if you actually like them. And so people are kind of afraid to approach you because they see the signs, but then they also kind of get the feeling of like, but is she or is he just being nice? Or I mean, are they flirting with? And then they try to watch how you interact with others to kind of get a general understanding if you're just being nice or not, if you're just being cordial. So I feel like so a lot of people get confused about you, and that makes you attractive because it's almost like you give off kind of a little bit of mixed signals, and so it makes people kind of interested in figuring you out, because maybe there is this tendency of like you act like you want to be in a relationship, but then when somebody kind of somewhat insinuates it, you kind of like close off, or you kind of like pull back a bit. So there is like this, like you're open, but sometimes you retract. So people kind of get that vibe from you, and it makes you very seductive because it's almost like maybe you can have me, maybe you can't. Maybe I'm open, maybe I'm not. It's kind of like that, a little bit of coy. You're playing a little bit of a game. That's kind of what people think. They think maybe you're a little bit of a tease. Something that's very attractive about you is that you're the type of person that maybe is perhaps aware of your own weaknesses. Like, what is a weakness for you. So you try to protect that, or you try to find a way to work on that. Another thing is you don't you're not afraid to give up when something isn't working for you. A lot of people, they get really stubborn and they will hold on for dear life because, have you guys ever heard of the sunken fallacy? It's like the sunken fallacy. And it's basically like when you invest a lot of time, energy, effort, money into something or someone, over time, it gets harder and harder to let it go because there's so much investment and time and energy that was wasted if you let go of it. So sometimes people will stick. That's why a lot of people kind of stay in like toxic relationships or jobs they hate or just situations in life that are not necessarily the most ideal, but because people have put and invested a lot of time and energy and effort into something, it's just harder to walk away from. And with you guys, there has been moments in your life where you've put a lot of time, energy, and investment into something, and you still walked away from it because you understood that it didn't serve you. And that is really attractive to a lot of people because it's like you didn't go back to it. You didn't hold on to it. Like, you could have wasted more of your time and your energy on something that was just not going anywhere. And instead, you decide, I don't want to waste any more of my time. And so you kind of cut that off. And people around you that knew you found that really hot because they were like, wow, that's like, I mean, that just made everyone else around you that have been aware of that kind of contemplate in their life where they're not doing that. But also, it's just something about you taking charge or taking yourself out of that situation, or you understanding that you need to get out of that. So it's like you guys didn't waste your time. Even if you've invested a lot of time and energy into a different situation, you are just not going to allow that to drain from you anymore. So it's like you got up and you left, like you made that decision and you left the situation. And so people find that very admirable, or they find that extremely attractive because it kind of shows how strong you can be and how much of a free spirit you can be as well. Because there was a part of you that realized like maybe you were tied down to something that wasn't right for you and you got yourself out of it, and that was really attractive. So again, there is this sense of people maybe not knowing where they stand with you. So people always see you as like this very fun, loving, kind, generous, happy person. And people like to be in that energy. They feel like you definitely exude maybe like Leo vibes, definitely like a lover energy. You definitely come off as a very like, I love people. I think you guys are also maybe like huggers, or you like to give hugs, or you're just, you like physical touch. I feel like that's the type of person that you are. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting, is like you're playful, you like physical touch, you're a little bit flirty. You're just fun to be around. So, and again, there is that like, I'm fun, but I still have a little bit of boundaries, but let's keep it light. You kind of have that vibe. And so people find that really seductive because there's something about you that's not super forceful, but at the same time, you're just kind of like, let's see where things go. And it's kind of more free flowing. And I kind of get the vibe too. I don't know if you guys are just like extroverts or you just happen to know a lot of people, but your outlook on the world, your outlook on people, um, is also really seductive, because the way that you guys view life and view people is kind of in a way, where it can be very loving and kind of even almost poetic at times. So it makes people feel good about themselves when they're around you, because I get the feeling that you like to try and build people up instead of tearing people down. And that is just really attractive to have in a partner. And so people kind of view you in that way. And it's very like attractive, because not only do people want to have, sexual relations with you, but there's also a little bit of a, maybe I want a little more, when people kind of get to know your outview on life, because you kind of have like a unique outlook on life too. And I feel like it really makes people kind of question their lives and what they're doing with their life. And I feel like some of you guys maybe could even be artists, or just, again, there's something about your energy that seems to be more of a creative feminine energy. We also have here the 4th house and the 2nd house. So I feel like for a lot of people that chose this pile, you guys have kind of this this childlike wonder still, but there's also this like something about how you keep your home nice, and maybe you guys have this, it's just like this, it's hard to explain. It's almost like a nurturing, motherly energy, but when people come into your house, they feel really welcome, they feel really loved, and people find that attractive because they feel like they can be more comfortable around you. You make people feel comfortable around you, and I feel like you keep your environment tidy and clean. And there's something about your house or the things that you own that is kind of attractive. Like, I just get the feeling that you guys could have like a nice car, maybe a nice house, or there's something about things that you have that looks good. Like maybe you have clothing that looks good on you. And I'm also just kind of getting that the way that you do your makeup, it's not over the top. It's not too, it's not too subtle, but it's not over the top. It's kind of like almost at a sweet spot. So you guys really know how to do your makeup, or if you're a man, you really know how to, like, maybe you shave, or you just have clear skin. There's something about your guys' skin, or the way that you take care of your skin. So a lot of people feel like you are successful, or that you just have a lot of opportunities that come your way. Sextile in astrology, the aspect of that is really a good aspect. It's a harmonious connection, right, between whatever planets that it's interacting with. So I feel like when you interact with people, there is that like more harmonious reciprocation a lot of the times. A lot of people like to talk to you, but a lot of people love to just be in your energy. Even if you guys don't talk, like even if you're just sitting in a room and it's completely silent, but there's like just you and another person, they love your energy. It's like they enjoy it. They enjoy every second of it. So it's like you guys are just, you're really unique in a lot of ways. And I feel like even at times, maybe you guys have like traveled, or you're like a little foreign to some people, because your energy, it exudes this like peaceful yet fun, happy, innocent vibe that you give off. It's just very heartwarming and just really a nice energy to be around. So even if you guys just don't talk, just being around your energy is intoxicating. So that's what I have for my pile number 2s. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Have a great and wonderful day. Thank you. Bye. Okay, pile number 3, if you guys chose this red lipstick or this tarot deck, this is your guys' reading. So, what makes you guys so seductive? What makes you attractive? So, I'm going to shuffle this deck, and I will be right back. Check out my friend's shop, Light Minded. She sells bath bombs, soaps, and candles. All of her products are made with love and care, as well as high-quality natural ingredients. All of her products are vegan and cruelty-free. If any of you guys are interested, the link will be listed down below in the description box. Thank you. All right, pile number 3. What makes you guys so seductive? So pile number 3, you guys, I feel like to travel or like to see new things. There is a part of you that if it's, for instance, like if it's too hard, you're not going to invest in it because you understand that like for instance, like this is so weird. Okay, so you like to travel, you like to explore new things, but what I'm getting here with that 8 of Pentacles is that you will go the distance with people, but if people are not willing to put in the work, you I think you call it out for what it is and you end the situation. You stop putting in effort. So it's kind of similar to pile, which one was it? I think it's pile number 1. But yeah, you put in the work because you understand like it takes 2 people to make something happen. But when someone doesn't do it, then you are like, yeah, no, I'm not going to continue to invest in that. I'm not going to, put any more effort into that. A lot of you guys are not also afraid to take risks at new beginnings, and that's something that's very attractive about you, pile number 3. You guys kind of have this like, you only live once. I'm going to live my life the way I want to live my life, but I also really want to make sure that like I am still being responsible, but not to the degree in which you stifle yourself, if that makes sense. So you guys try to live a life where you still go out and take risks and have fun and do crazy things, but at the same time, you also try to make sure that you are responsible and that you're taking care of what you need to take care of. So there's like this part of you that is kind of, it's very attractive because there's like this carefree, yeah, let's go do this thing. And then there's also that, but I'm also going to be responsible. I'm not just going to go off and be crazy. So I don't think you guys give your heart to just anybody. People can kind of get the feeling and the vibe, pile number 3, that maybe you've been hurt in the past. And maybe that's why you're a little bit protective of your heart. But like you'll flirt or you'll have fun with people. But there is this sense of maybe not necessarily wanting to commit or not really necessarily wanting what is presented to you. So a lot of people want to be the person that like convinces you or changes you. Like, how people, like when somebody just, like, say for instance, like they're a player and like a woman's like, I can change him. That is kind of the vibe I'm getting here. It's like you've been hurt and people want to like almost prove to you that they're not going to hurt you like how that other person did. So there's like this sense of somebody kind of almost fantasizing about saving you or fantasizing about wanting to prove to you that they are worthy of that you're worthy of love and that they are worthy of your love, if that makes sense. So you have people kind of in their feelings, pile number 3, because the vibe you give off is just like this, not like the damsel in distress. I don't want you to think that. It's more like you just kind of come off wounded a little, like gentle and sad, like there's some kind of grief or loss, and it's like people can sense that and they want to cheer you up, and it's kind of like a little bit kind of like how Marilyn Monroe would be sad. And that was kind of like low key attractive because you can actually see it in her face. So you can kind of see it like, I hear it in her voice at times. And it's just like made people want to, like men wanted to like kind of protect or provide for her. It's kind of like that. It's kind of the vibe I'm getting here. So you kind of give off this like dreamy like energy to you. So we have here Leo. I think some of you guys maybe again you like let me kind of go back a bit. I want to say it like this. I almost get the vibe too that these three are like connected. So I don't know if you have, for instance, like Leo and Neptune or Leo and Venus, or you could have Cancer and, but I am getting like for some of you guys, your Venus sign is like a fire sign or is, yeah, just very unique. Like it could be an Aquarius or like a fire sign. But there's this watery feeling that you guys have. So there is this combination of people. It's like they fall in love more with the fantasies in their head than even perhaps you, pile number 3, because you just, the way that you like kind of come off or exude yourself, it makes people kind of daydream. There's a little bit of this beautiful essence that you have that's kind of like fairy-like. It's kind of dream state-like. Or like even like kind of like a mermaid kind of energy. It's something that is like mystical kind of. And sometimes you guys will just kind of have this look on your face like almost as if like you're not in this dimension at times, like if that makes sense. Like people when they look at you, they sometimes they feel like you zone out or you do something and it's like where did you go? But there is definitely some kind of an attraction here because it feels like people can get that like they think you're very physically attractive. So you have people that and even if you're not like say conventionally beautiful, which I feel like for some of you guys that chose this pile, you are. But if you're not, then again, there's just something about it's like that kind of aspect. It's almost like it just makes you seem more softer and like in physical appearance wise. Like maybe you have a very soft jawline or soft cheeks, or this pile feels more physical. People really like your physical appearance. And I get the sense too that a lot of you guys, you have just this warm, loving kind of energy, but there's also this it's like maybe you guys are omniverts where maybe you're like a little bit of an extrovert, but you're also a little bit of an introvert. So it kind of goes back and forth, but like people just are fascinated with your life story. People are fascinated with who you are. They see this like uniqueness about you. They see this person that's like innovative, this person that it's like you are very edgy. You're different. And there's just this part of you that maybe it's in the way you dress, or it's just like maybe your features are very striking. There's something about you guys, pile number 3, that people notice physically that they're really attracted to. And then the more that they kind of get to know you, there is this like fiery energy about you. But there's also like this touch of intelligence. So there's this part of you guys that like you don't flaunt. I don't think you guys like show off, like, oh, look at me, I'm so smart, or look at what I can do. You don't do that. You're very subtle with things that you do, but it's very attractive because people can sense that about you. They can tell that, like, sometimes people struggle with certain things, but with you it's almost like it kind of comes more natural to you. So like there's certain things that you like, the way that you would dress is very unique. Nobody would think about pairing that piece of clothing with that type of like shoes or bags or accessories or however it is that you dress. But I just kind of get the feeling that you guys are really good with your makeup. I just feel like you're really good with the way that you do your hair, the way you do your makeup. Um it's different. It's like maybe you guys change your makeup often, like you don't just stick with the same type of makeup, you know? You know how some people they do the same type of routine over and over and over every day. It's just like the basic makeup they do. And then when they go out on special occasions, then they'll like be different. But with you guys, it's like there is this kind of creative streak where maybe you guys enjoy changing it up. So if you do your nails or anything like that, like maybe you paint them different colors, all the time. So you're always changing up your style. You're always changing things up a little bit. So that's another thing that makes you very attractive, because when people that are around you that know you, they're kind of like, ooh, I wonder what pile number 3 is going to wear today, or what they're going to look like today, because you just like exaggerate your features. It's almost like there's something of either like, maybe for instance, like maybe you know how to dress for your body type, or you know how to contour your face really well, or there's something about you guys that it's like you understand your body, or you understand what looks good on you, or how things kind of like, you just make things look good on you. And so a lot of people are very attracted to that, because there is that sense of like, you take really good care of yourself. You really do take maybe pride in your appearance, and that really shows. So people are like very physically drawn to you, and the way that you move your body, the way you walk, or the way that you maybe even how you talk can kind of come off a little sweet or a little kind, and people like the sound of your voice. It's kind of like a smooth sound, like kind of like butter, right? Like cutting through like soft butter. It's like that kind of satisfying feeling. And maybe that's what people really feel like when they hear your voice. So there's little things about you, pile number 3, that's very alluring and very seductive by nature, that you exhibit, like little habits that you do that you might not even be aware of, that people find physically attractive. And for some of you guys, I just heard this. Some of you snort when you laugh and you're like a little insecure about it. But there's like people that are around you that find that really adorable and they love that. So some people purposefully try to make you laugh really hard so you'll snort. I don't know why I got that, but I did. So that's got to be for somebody out there. But yeah, it's definitely like you're very unique in your mannerisms. The way you text people is different. The way that you talk to people is different. The way you like, maybe you use your hands a lot when you talk, like you gesture a lot. People like that. You're very animate. And there's just something about you guys that is a little flashy, a little showy, but not over the top. It's not overdone. So like I said, it's like you kind of find a little bit of that sweet spot. You're not too crazy, but you're not too plain either. So there's definitely a part of you guys that like definitely catches people's eyes. And I feel like maybe you guys don't just stick with one color. Like I said, you guys definitely like different colors. So if you look at this person here, a Cancer, she's wearing like three or four different colors in her dress. Maybe you guys wear dresses, or you guys wear clothing like that is like multicolored. So and people find that very physically attractive. They like how it looks on you because I think you pair your colors very well together. It's not like it's just two colors that don't match. It's like you find a way to make it all fit together and make it all work out. So people really like the way you coordinate your outfits or the way that you do your makeup or the way that you do your hair. It's like there's always something that you're changing. You're never just staying the same. And that's one of the things that a lot of people find very attractive because people get stuck in routines or in ruts. But when people see that you're constantly changing up your look and your style, it really makes people love that because they can sense like, oh, this person's gonna be fun. This person's not just gonna be boring all the time. So there's definitely this sense of excitement when they think about you, pile number 3. So yeah, you guys, that's what I have for you guys. I hope that this resonates. Thank you so much. Have a great and wonderful day, pile number 3. Thank you. Bye.